Yeah. Hang on, hello there, it's me, Carl Welshman, and today it's a beer review. We're going to be tasting for the first time. I say we, me going to be tasting for the first time You Rebel from Whitewater Brewing Company. It says no messing, IPA, coming in at a fucking meaty 7%. Let's have a little read on the back here. It says, our adventure got up and flowering on the banks of the Whitewater in 1996, upriver in the mountains of Morn. On our fifth generation family farm, we did our first brew in my great grandfather's shed. Ooh. Ever since, we've been doing what we like, trying what we think we'll like, and making beer we hope you'll like. Like this IPA, brewed with American Cascade hops, its citrusy grapefruit tones make this one a brew for the rebellious. Well, it's pretty bloody strong. I've had a few Whitewater beers. I've had a few Whitewater beers in the past, and to be honest with you, they were a bit hit and miss. I can't remember if I actually recorded any videos about them, but they were kind of early on in my sort of beer drinking adventures, so you know, maybe it'd be a different story now. But this has been in my fridge for a while. It's been in there for a while. I checked the date because it's been in there that long, and we're all good to go until at least another 6 or 7 months. So let's give this a go. I think what it was with the beers that I've had from Whitewater before is that similar to the Mourne Mountain Brewing beers, brewery. Let's just go back. The Mourne Mountain Brewery beers. They're not so fucking flowery when it comes to their beers. You know, it's not like all the fucking tropical stuff and hazy stuff. It's good, strong, crisp, fucking bitter beers. So let's see how we get on with this. I can already smell it. It smells pretty dank, citrusy, piney, strong. Let's pour this out. I'm expecting this to be quite a meaty bastard, to be honest. You know, 7%. 7%, nothing to be sniffed at. Is that a saying? You say that? Nothing to be sniffed at? If it isn't, it's a new saying. Spread the word. You want to be cool, don't you? Right. Look at that. Nice colour. It's not hazy as such. I think it's more to do with the glass. There's a little bit of haze. Kind of goldeny. Strange smell. Quite mild. Doesn't smell quite as citrusy now that it's out of the bottle, but maybe that's because all the flavour just fucking flew out of the top there when I opened it initially. But I'm going in for a taste. All right. It's quite hoppy. So I was just drinking a beer just now. Hang on, bear with me. I was just drinking a tin of this proper job, which comes in at 5.5%. And that was actually much more hoppy and much stronger in flavour. So this has actually caught me by surprise, because this is actually easier to drink than that proper job stuff. It's almost like a fucking toffee note in there at the back as well. It's bitter, it's quite hoppy, easy to drink, it's refreshing, very refreshing. I'd say this here, right, I'd say this is the perfect sort of beer to have a little sip on a Monday morning, right? You've woken up, you're like, really don't want to work today. You can hear your kids, they're like, Dad, we didn't actually have dinner last night. We didn't have any dinner. We managed to clean up the living room after your escapades. You're like, oh, you're holding your head. You're like, oh, God. You look in the bed next to you. It's not your wife. Somehow it's one of your friends and his wife. They're there and you're like, oh God. Door opens, your kids walk in, you're like, oh, should we just have a day off today, guys? They're like, yay! They're all excited. You're like, awesome. Hang on a minute, guys. You reach under your pillow, you whip out your bottle of You Rebel, pour yourself a glass there. You're like, I tell you what, guys, let's take the rest of the week off. They high five you, it's brilliant. Your phone starts ringing, you recognise that it's actually your wife. She's been texting you these little messages. When are you bringing the kids back? They were supposed to be back last night. What is going on? You just have another sip of this. Switch the phone off, lock the door, turn around to your mate and his wife and you're like, guys, we've got the week off. They're like, yeah, they fucking have a little glass of You Rebel as well. Good times. You Rebel from Whitewater Brewing Company. Nice and bitter, nice and refreshing, easy drinking, coming in at a 7%, which, seriously, for the strength when it comes to the tang and the bitterness of it, you wouldn't have thought it. This is a lovely fucking easy drinking beer. Really nice. You surprised me. You're tastier and nicer than I thought you'd be. I'm going to give you a fucking 7.9 out of 10, you boosy. I was going to say you beautiful bastard, but I've ended up saying you Gary Boosie. Gary Boosie.